Today we're playing a version of Super Mario Odyssey that's unlike anything you've ever seen before. Amethyst put together this version of the game that allows for Twitch chat to change all kinds of different variables in my game. And my goal? Beat the game in less than 3 hours while Twitch chat does everything they can to stop me. This stream was a lot of fun to do, and if you liked the video, consider subscribing. Going into this challenge, I felt super confident. I'd watched Amethyst stream the day before and just kind of knew that I would be able to outsmart my Twitch chat. But they saw the tricks that I had up my sleeve and made it very clear that I was not going to have an easy run today. Wait, Amethyst? Oh, you soft locked me, what? And of course it was that virus guy who gets recognized in public way more than I do. After getting the bug worked out, I had to restart from the beginning of Cap Kingdom, and this time it was a little bit more difficult to get past the boss fight. Oh no! No! Why did I dive? Why did I dive? After about another 20 minutes of fighting with my chat, I eventually got past the boss fight and made my way over to Cascade Kingdom. Before we get into Cascade Kingdom, I have to tell you guys about Highway to Death. Highway to Death is a reward that basically takes all of the coins that you have and reduces them by 1 coin every single second. When your coin counter gets to 0, you die and you have to restart from the last checkpoint. The kicker is that the more people who redeem Highway to Death, the faster that countdown goes, and that made this Madame Brutal fight really difficult. Highway to Death is so brutal because you can only stop the timer by getting killed by the timer. A normal death doesn't stop the timer from going down. So you'll see it play a major factor for a lot of my deaths as we continue the run. After getting my ass handed to me multiple times by Madame Brutal, I decided to say fuck that noise and try to find more moons just around the main area. Now normally you're only able to get 4 of these moons by default, but with the help of a redeem called Moon Magnet, I was able to get the moon that was on that floating island and make my way out of Cascade Kingdom. When I got to Sand Kingdom, I thought that I was going to have a very similar time to how Cap and Cascade went, but I didn't even get to spend very much time in this kingdom before I got my dick shot off all the way into Wooded. Random Kingdom does, well, exactly what it says. It sends you off to a completely random kingdom and just halts whatever progress you were going through. Throughout this run, I don't think I made it through a single kingdom all the way through without getting shot to somewhere else. It was really annoying at first, but after a little while, I thought that I could find a way to cheese this. My idea is that if I could get sent to a kingdom that was later in the game and then complete that kingdom, maybe there was a chance I could just skip everything in between. When I got sent to Metro Kingdom, I knew that it was game on. I went through the route as best as I could, trying to collect all of these moons, but unfortunately, my chat had a different idea in mind. For some unexplainable reason, chat had this just uncontrollable urge to send me to Darker Side over and over again. It didn't matter how many times I left, they would bring me right back and insisted that I beat it. Oh shit. So eventually, I tried to beat it, but I wasn't gonna beat it the way chat wanted me to. My idea is that if I could get them to do hot tub stream enough times, which allows for me to swim around, I could get across this massive gap and get to the moon up top. Now, this wasn't easy. It took me so long to even get over there, and I died a lot trying to do it. At first, I didn't think I was going to be able to do it, but after enough determination and a little bit of grit, I managed to get to the other side and collect my moon. Yeah! Let's go! Woo, baby! As you can see, I was just a little excited. That's what I'm talking about! After my flawless victory, I decided it was time to give chat a chance to choose Mario's outfit. And what did they choose? The sexy fucking cowboy.
18 naked cowboys in the showers at Ram Ranch.
So now we're back to the hell that's going to be getting to the Spewer fight. Yeah, so earlier in the run, chat saw me try to go up and fight Spewer and decided, yeah, no, you don't get to do that shit. But after my little detour in Darker Side, it actually wasn't too difficult for me to get up there. Now, the boss fight itself was a little more than expected, but it was much easier than any of the other bosses I'd fought up to this point. After that, I found this painting and tried to be a little sneaky by going to luncheon and trying to get all of the moons in there early so I could skip a good chunk of the game. Unfortunately, chat just decided that I wasn't going to get to do this. I'd already skipped one kingdom earlier and they weren't going to let me do it again. Nighttime Metro Kingdom was a time and a half trying to do this run that I was so familiar with, and just getting knocked off of my feet constantly honestly pushed my buttons a little bit. Now, Amethyst was in the call at this point, and she had warned me about how difficult this Mega Wiggler fight was going to be. She told me all these stories about how it took her almost an hour to beat this one single boss, and then I turned around and beat it in my first try.
The time is at a point where, like, it is technically possible.
Now, there's something I didn't tell you guys about the stakes at hand here. My goal was to beat this game in 3 hours, and the reason for that is because if I didn't, Amethyst is going to be able to do another run of this game where she controls what happens to me. And as you can see, I was quickly running out of time. And by the time I got to Snow Kingdom, I'd almost completely given up on my ability to get through the rest of the game. I mean, I had 3 more kingdoms at minimum to get through, and I only had about 23 minutes to do it. And then came Salvation. Fly Me to the Moon is a redemption that quite literally sends you directly to the Moon Kingdom, and at this point, it was the only way that I was going to be able to finish in time. Now, most of my chat had spent all of their points trying to mess me up, but thankfully, there was one person who had enough points to send me to the moon. And that's all I needed, baby. I make chat use Up We Go so we can skip that entire section at the beginning of Moon Kingdom and go straight into the castle. I make it to the boss arena before realizing that chat's not on my team anymore. I use every skill, strat, and tactic that I've learned throughout the run to get around chat, beat Bowser, and make my way into escaping the facility. I had 5 minutes left in the challenge, and if I knew that if I made one single mistake, any chance that I had would be thrown in the garbage. And somehow, some way, all of the stars aligned, and I managed to beat the game in 2 hours and 58 minutes. Through trial and tribulation, our challenge was finally a success.